Well, Nigel, we're 10 days in now. What's your assessment of where the squad are to this point?
Well, fitness-wise, they've done very well. They came back in good condition, so that always means that we're at a decent starting point. And I think the players will have found that the sessions have been pretty tough for them. And now, around this time, there are going to be signs of fatigue, which is good because look, the pre-season's really the main window of opportunity to get training adaptations, and so they've embraced it for the most part. The ones who, if there are players who are finding it difficult or finding it difficult to commit to what we're trying to do, then they know what the outcome will be for them. So it's really an opportunity for players to stake their claim.
And how much of these sessions are split between some of the fitness and the ball work?
Well, we try and combine it, to be honest with you. We have a number of runs which are a bit of a test of fitness and character as well, but they're always devised so that we can really measure the fitness of the players. So it's always good to get plenty of touches of the ball, and but the players are fully aware of what our expectations are on that. Is we need to be a fitter team than we were last year. Good to get a different feel about the place as well. Additions coming in, obviously a number of players leaving, and that in itself creates opportunities for other players to make their move in the squad, so to speak.
With a number of players having gone and a few new faces coming in, has the dynamic shifted at all, or is that is everyone getting on? How the new lads gelling?
Yeah, I don't particularly use that word gelling. I think there is a good feel about it, but the players have to drive that themselves as well. So, as I've said, I think this is really opportunity time for individuals to make a move on a claim for a first team start, and that's really what it's always about. It's good to have a more compact unit. I don't like too many players floating around the place. But the challenge there is to keep them fit, and without going over old ground, we know that we had too many injuries last year. But just because players have come back in good condition, it means that we can ease off on the intensity of training if we need to, and certainly when we get into the games, the pre-season games, I think the players will know that they are then in competition with each other. That's what it's about.
Because you're reunited with Matty James, Andy King, Rob Atkinson's a new signing as well. How are they getting on? What are you seeing from them at this point?
Well, they've brought in exactly what we hoped they would bring in. So both Andy and JMO, they bring experience, know-how, but also professional drive. And just when you watch them train, they are. They'll help enhance what we already have. I think that's one of the interesting things. We have a number of very talented young players here, but of course it's very difficult for them to find the solutions sometimes on the pitch. When you've got more experienced players alongside them, it's about getting the blend right. Rob's come in and he's a bit behind the rest of the squad in terms of where he's at fitness-wise, but his character is. Even in the 2-3 days he's been training, we've seen enough to suggest that he'll do exactly what we expect him to do. So that's good. To get Nathan Baker back in is a real bonus as well, and testament to him that he was prepared to negotiate on lower terms, which shows his personal commitment to what we're trying to do here as well. So that was a really pleasant surprise. And Andy Vyman looks in good condition as well. Well, not good, in great condition. So, all those things together, they feel like very positive moves for us. And they're okay. So far, so good.
the players you mentioned there, I'm sure will be part of the camp heading to Loughborough. How much are you looking forward to that, and a change of scenery as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, it will be good because we're in each other's pockets, I suppose, is one way of putting it. I don't like long pre-season trips. Do I enjoy them myself? It's more observational time for me. If I'm perfectly honest, pre-season, I probably dislike pre-season as much as the players do. But it's a necessity, and it's an opportunity for us to work with the players, for the coaches to get messages across. So it is, as I've pointed out, it really is a pivotal part to most seasons. And bearing in mind, I don't think our players had a good enough pre-season last year. It's really important that we get it right and that we give ourselves the best chance of having a successful season. So, yeah, it will be good to be away from here for a few days together. We'll have just come off the back of playing against Celtic here, which is, people get quite excited about pre-season games, but they are just training sessions as far as I'm concerned. They're a training exercise, and it's about peaking for when the season starts.
Just going to ask a couple of questions about injuries and where we are at this point, because I think it's Semenyo, Louis Britton, Robbie Cundy. I think they're carrying knee injuries. Can you tell us where they are?
Yeah, they're all making progress, so they'll be available when Dave and his medical staff decide that they're available. So I think what people sometimes have to remember is that players don't go from just being injured to straight back in. There's got to be a management of players with a history of having knocks, or having players have different weaknesses within their own bodies. We have to manage that over a long period of time. So Joe Williams has not been with us so far, but he'll be fine for the start of the season, I'm sure. And it's really important that, because he's had a long-term spell out of the game, that when he comes back and he stays. So he's making great progress, and it really is about making sure. We don't really see him as being somebody who's we're going to have a problem with, and we're looking forward to him being available. So it's the important thing for us now is to try and avoid unnecessary injuries, and so that's where we have to manage the load in pre-season. Make sure that players who you're always going to pick injuries with knocks, because I want our players to train like we play, and that's high with high energy. So you can't avoid contact injuries, and if we pick one or two of those up, fine, we'll do it. But we're doing okay so far. 10 days in, the players, as I've said, for the most part, have committed to it, and the ones who don't, they don't. But it's their choice. Their choice to make. So we'll see where we are when the season starts.
All right, nice. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.